How you doing, folks? I'm Gary and this is A Cult of Drummer. Welcome back, folks, to The Cult of Drummer. It's been a wee while since I've been on the channel. Started a new job, so I've been settling into that new job, and the whiskey side of things took a little bit of a sort of sidestep for a wee short while there. But now that I'm up and running again with my new job, I thought I would get myself cracked on again here with some whiskey chat. So for anyone that's the first time you've popped onto the channel and you're maybe watching this first episode for a wee while, there's about another 120 odd videos on there. If you want to go back, have a look at some of them and get a wee idea of how the channel runs, and if it's something you like, please consider hitting subscribe and continue watching. Right, for this new start to the channel, what I've decided to do tonight is grab a wee sample that I picked up the other day. I'll get this one in a glass and I'll have a wee chat about where this came from and how I ended up with it. So, like a good glug as it goes in there. So you may be able to see there, but I'll hold that up anyway. This is a Benromach and it is their organic release. Now, a few weeks ago now, there was a festival up around here. It was called the Speyside Whisky Festival, Spirit of Speyside. And during that festival, I managed to get out and about around some of the distilleries down on Speyside. The closest distillery, Speyside Distillery, to where I live is Benromach. It's a sort of 15-minute drive along the road, and I hadn't been there for a wee while, so I thought for the Speyside Festival, the Spirit of Speyside, I would get out and about, and I popped along to Benromach for a wee tour of the distillery. I hadn't been in it for a couple of years, so just wanted to see if there was anything different going on at the distillery. And it really was, it was a nice day, and it was good to get in there and speak to people again and speak to sort of whiskey minded folk. There were people from all around the world in there, particularly some German tourists that I was sitting chatting to, using my best German that I hadn't used since I lived there back in the 90s. But it was good to sort of mix around with people and talk about whiskey. And if you want to read a little bit more about that day when I went to Benromach Festival, if you pop over onto the Malt official website, I wrote a wee article on there when I reviewed one of their whiskies, which is sat up on there, which is the Benromach Caragold. So you can read about that one and about my little tour around the distillery. When I was at the distillery, unfortunately I had to drive there that day, so I couldn't drink. So the fantastic staff there, Susan, who works there, gave me a few samples to take away, and one of the ones that was in the box was the organic. I've had a number of Benromach Drams over the years, particularly the Ben 10, Ben 15, things like that, even Benromach 21, and there's some various organic versions and extra peated versions and things like that. So I'd had a lot of them before, but the organic one I'd never actually, I'm not going to say it hadn't appealed to me, but it was just, there was other ones there that, I was looking more at. So this one had kind of fallen by the wayside. So it was good that this one was in there. Benromach, wee bit of a potted history, and I'll throw it in there. Benromach is one of these distilleries, opened in the late 1890s, so maybe 125-ish years ago, something like that. And over the years it's opened and closed, chopped and changed ownership, etc. Up until the early to mid 1990s, it was bought by Gordon MacPhail, and if you know your whiskey, you'll know Gordon MacPhail are a big sort of name in independent bottling. Gordon MacPhail bought over the distillery. They spent several years basically gutting out the distillery, refurbing it and getting it back on the road. by the late 1990s, it was ready to rock and roll, and I think in the early 2000s, about 2004, 2005, they started bottling the first product coming out of there, and since then, 2005ish, they haven't stopped. One of the things they did decide to do at the time was to make an attempt at an organic whiskey. Now, one of the things is about organic whiskey is that everything within it has to almost be that organic. It has to be clean, has to be clear, has to fulfill the requirements of being organic. So what these distilleries do, and I think there's a couple of them do it, they shut down the distillery, and they have to, for want of another term, deep clean the whole system out. They then run for a period using all organic ingredients, even down to the casks. The casks have to be organic in everything in about it. And then they make the whiskey, the cask of whiskey up, and set it aside for maturing before they can crack on again with their normal run, their normal production. And I think, and I probably should have checked this, I think Benromach, were the first distillery to run as an organic whiskey. Off the top of my head, I think it was 2006. They were the world's first organic whiskey. You might want to have a check of that one online to see if I'm 100% right on that. World's first. I know there's others do it now. I think Deanston possibly does it off the top of my head as well. But yeah, organic whiskey. Now, again, jumping a little bit up there towards Benromach. If you know Benromach, 99% of the whiskey that comes out of Benromach has an element of peat in it. It's quite a low level peat. I can't remember what the ppms is at the moment. Something maybe around about 14 ppm or something daft like that. But it's quite a low level peat. It just gives it a sort of smoky edge to it rather than a peaty hit. But the organic is in effect non-peated. So there shouldn't be a sort of peated whiskey, smoky element to this one. Let's see what there is in it. There's a freshness, cleanness, hay, summery, cut grass type thing. Honeys. Maybe even an aniseed hanging in there. But it's nice. It's a nice nose to it. Nothing hard, nothing pungent. I think it's a 46%. Yeah, 46% ABV. There's nothing smacking me on the nose. I'm looking at the glass here as well, and it's got a good bit of a body to it. There's some decent legs running on the glass, which is nice. But yeah, the nose comes off really quite pleasant. Nice mouth feel, no burn. That acid thing again. Not acid, can't think of the word now, gone, yeah. Aniseed, not acid, aniseed. There's a bit of aniseed about it. There's a honey taste, but there's also a honey feel, a sort of nice coated mouth feel on it. Sounds daft. I almost want to say there's a strawberryness about it. I don't know where I'm getting that from. I'm loving the legs that are running on this glass. Yeah, there's a fruitiness, and I'm not quite sure, a berry fruit, summery fruit. I wasn't expecting that. I'm not really sure if that's coming from the cleanliness of it, but there is a nice fruity sort of syrupness about it. But there's something hanging in there, almost like agricultural. Like I said, you're cutting the grass in the field, you're baling, and you're walking through that field, with all the bales there. You know, it's golden. Maybe the golden colour's coming through and it's stimulating something. But there's an essence of cut hay and bales in a field, and it's really quite nice. 46% organic whiskey. It's probably, yeah, I've had the Deanston before. It's the first time I've had this one before. I'm liking it. I'm enjoying the freshness of it, and it's not an expensive whiskey. Off the top of my head, it's in the region of about £45 whiskey. So yeah, if it's that kind of thing, if you're more into the organic side of life with everything you do, and if you enjoy a whiskey and you want to give it a go, I would definitely recommend having a wee look at Benromach Organic. I'm going to suggest it's probably done in batch wise. They've got this one here, it says it's a 2012, so there's probably a batch sort of system set up for that one there. But yeah, definitely give this one a wee chance if you want to, guys. It's lunch.